So do you think that today's endorsement, do you think that changes the direction of your documentary at all? Or does it just give you a new layer to kind of play with?
Yeah, well, we, I was looking at some of the earlier documents that we wrote in April and sort of predicted it, or like when, what's going to, and our question is, what's going to happen to that energy when and if, and now it's happened that Bernie endorsed Clinton. It doesn't change the direction of our documentary because we're following the course of events as they happen, and we're intuitively meeting people, striking up conversations on Twitter, and so this interview could be part of the documentary. Coming and seeing you in Philadelphia could become part of the documentary. So on the table, and everything's always been on the table. So we think that we want to. We're not looking at an objective perspective, because obviously Bernie Sanders is an amazing candidate, but we're looking at it from a different perspective, looking at it from a more European perspective. And the fact that this happened is actually super interesting from a film perspective. So and so no, it doesn't change the direction. It makes it maybe a little more difficult to convince people to give us help fund the documentary, because people don't want to necessarily watch a documentary about defeat of a candidate. I think people love winners. People want to maybe watch a documentary about Clinton or Trump. But we're going to continue making this documentary about Bernie's movement and the people behind him.
I think that's great. I think just the positive stories you shared about how hard people in New York, I think that's an example that we saw all over the country. And I think people do need to be reminded of, because a lot of it was the strength of people, right? Bernie was a great candidate, put a lot of great stuff on the platform, on the table here in the US that no one's seen since, basically FDR, like 80 years ago. But the people, and I'm really excited about the prospect of seeing, what you guys got going on, because we did something. That's why I try and keep it positive. I mean, this is phase 2 now, because we keep talking about, he says it's a revolution, but revolutions don't end with voting.